Part 7. The Terrifying Curse. The Haunted Cabin in the Woods. Ash stopped and took a deep breath of the fresh morning air. Before him was the lush green forest, bathed in the warm light of dawn. But within him was a deep pain and the haunting memory of the terrifying night. He looked back at the wooden house, now reduced to a pile of rubble, and tears quietly streamed down his face. The images of Nick, Amanda, Jesse, and Anne remained vivid in his mind. Their smiles, the excitement they felt at the beginning of the camping trip, and the horrifying final moments were all etched deeply in his heart. They had fought together, and now he was the sole survivor, carrying the memories of his friends' bravery and sacrifice. Ash knew that his life would never be the same again. The ghosts of the past would always haunt him, but he also understood that he had to keep living, to keep moving forward. He turned around and walked through the forest, guided by the light of dawn, carrying with him the memories of horror and loss, but also hope and determination. When Ash returned to the city, it felt as if everything had completely changed. The noise of traffic, the bright lights of the streets, and the bustle of urban life could not erase the horrific memories he had endured. The images of the ruined wooden house, the terrifying screams, and the faces of his friends replayed vividly in his mind. Every night, when darkness fell, Ash was haunted by nightmares. In those dreams, he found himself back in the wooden house, facing the demon and witnessing his friends' deaths. The eerie whispers, lurking shadows, and the demon's fiery red eyes jolted him awake in the middle of the night, drenched in cold sweat. Unable to bear the haunting any longer, Ash decided to write down the story he had lived through. He wanted to warn others about the cursed wooden house, hoping that no one else would have to endure the terror he had experienced. He found a thick notebook and began writing, each word, each sentence, cutting deep into his heart like a blade. In his small room, the light from his desk lamp illuminated the white pages. Ash sat there, his hands trembling but determined, writing down every detail of the horrifying trip. He described each scene, from the moment they entered the wooden house to when the cassette tape played, and the horrors that began to unfold. He recounted Anne's disappearance, Amanda's vanishing, Jesse's painful death, and Nick's sacrifice. He left nothing out, describing the ferocity of the demon and the unbearable pain he endured. Each word on the page carried the weight of pain, fear, and the deep sorrow of losing his friends. When the story was finished, Ash read through each page, feeling as though he had poured out all of his emotions. He knew that this was not only a warning for others, but also a way for him to confront his past and seek some form of release for himself. The once white pages had now become a vivid testament to a horrific story, a warning to anyone who might dare venture into that forest. Ash decided to send his story to newspapers, online forums, and social media platforms. He hoped that his story would reach many people, ensuring that no one else would have to endure the horror he and his friends had gone through. Even though he knew the haunting memories would stay with him forever, Ash felt a slight sense of relief after sharing his story. And though the pain of loss would never completely fade, he hoped that his life would gradually return to normal and that the spirits who had sacrificed themselves would find peace. In Ash's mind, the image of the wooden house and the haunted forest appeared every night, but he knew that he had faced his fears and found a way to continue living. He kept moving forward, carrying with him the memories and valuable lessons, hoping that his warnings would protect others from the dark forces that humans could never fully comprehend. One night, after waking up suddenly from a fitful sleep, Ash was shocked to realize that everything that had happened in the city was just a figment of his imagination. He was still trapped in that cursed wooden house. The relief he had felt after completing the story and the memories of returning to the city were nothing but an illusion created by the demon. He had never truly left the house, and his attempts to warn others were only a dream. Ash opened his eyes and found himself still in the dark, cold room of the wooden house. The shadows still lurked around him, and the eerie whispers continued to echo in the air. His heart pounded in his chest, and the terror came rushing back. He realized that he was still trapped in an endless nightmare with no escape. The demon, with a sinister smile, appeared before Ash. "You thought you could escape from here?" it whispered, its voice cold and full of menace. "No one can break this curse. You will remain here forever until someone else comes to take your place." Despair overwhelmed Ash. He had believed he could escape, but the harsh reality was far worse than he had imagined. He knew he had to find a way out of the house, but was there any chance for him? The demon would not let him go without a sacrifice. As time passed, Ash grew thin and weak. He gradually lost hope, but a small part of him remained steadfast, refusing to surrender. He knew he had to keep fighting, not just for himself, but for the souls that had been trapped before him. The demon, with its supernatural power and boundless cruelty, had turned his friends into loyal minions. It imprisoned their souls, tormenting them with ghastly images and unending fear, until they completely lost their sense of self and became its tools. These minions were tasked with luring other young people into the wooden house so that the curse could continue and the demon could maintain its power.